Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. We got some breaking news here. The Las Vegas Raiders are planning on releasing Kenyan Drake, but could they also potentially trade him? I'll tell you about that in just a second. Y'all, today's show is presented by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. In fall, it's right around the corner, and I want to make sure that you guys are bringing in the right people to help your small business grow. Chat Sports, we're a small business, and I think that I was a good fit here. Unfortunately for Kenyan Drake and the Raiders, that one wasn't quite the best fit. But LinkedIn Talent Solution is going to help you all find not only the right candidates, it's going to help you find the right candidates faster. So go to linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Let's now talk about Kenyan Drake. And really, the guy who broke this news was Tom Pelissero, because he tweeted out the Raiders plan to release veteran running back Kenyan Drake. I saw that and I was like, well, wait a minute. I do not know if this is going to be a situation where the Raiders actually release him, or could it be similar to a situation, remember last year, when the Raiders planned to release Rodney Hudson, planned to release Gabe Jackson, and then they were actually able to trade for both of those players. So I tweeted that out. I had my take, and then Josina Anderson, she also doubled down, and she said, my understanding is the Raiders will still keep an ear to the phone for potential 11-hour trade inquiries. Friendly reminder, the Raiders have to go from 85 players on that roster down to 80 by 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So this is your 11, 12-hour window, if you will. I do still think that a team could potentially be interested in trading for Kenyan Drake because he is a talented back. But the biggest reason why he's not going to be a member of the team, and if you've watched the Raiders Report before, I did have him in my latest 53-man roster projection. If you hit me up on locals, I had him in my latest locals video, because when you look at the entire backfield, plus you look at the draft, you look at some of the moves they made in free agency, I don't know if it made a whole lot of sense. Now, anytime somebody gets cut, I always want to wish them the best, because if you rep the Shield, if you're a member of this team, I am a believer, once a Raider, always a Raider. So if you guys could, please wish Kenyan Drake the best. Type 23 down there below. I understand that these guys put their bodies on the line. I hear that. I see that. And I do think that he's going to have some success in other areas. It just, new regime wasn't the best fit. So please, Kenyan, I wish you the best of luck, man, because the show that when the Raiders signed Drake last season, or is it 2 years ago at this point? I don't remember. Our office went wild. It was one of the craziest shows I ever did, and for that, you will always have a special place, not only amongst Raider Nation, but you'll also have a special place here at the Raiders Report and Chat Sports. Now, let's look at Kenyan Drake's contract details, because this is something that I've talked about multiple times. If cut, the Raiders would save, it's actually $250,000, and it's an $8 million dead cap hit. That $8 million dead cap hit is 3.6 this year and 4.4 next year. So no matter what, you were going to have to eat some money for the simple fact of you restructured his contract. However, the reason why I've said multiple times that it just made more sense for them to trade him is because if you trade Kenyan Drake, you actually save $2.75 million instead of having that dead money cap hit. Now, sure, you are still going to eat some money, 1.1 this year, and then it would be $4.4 million next year, but there is a little bit of difference in money. The fact, though, if nobody wants to trade for him, I would say right now if the Raiders could potentially get a 6th or a 7th round pick, you would take it. If you can get a 7th rounder for Kenyan, it's better than eating all that money, and you just ship him off and say, well, you know what, man? Ultimately, I am going to wish you the best of luck. Now, Kenyan Drake was a bad fit with the Raiders, and here's the thing. Small businesses, sometimes you can't afford to have bad fits on your team. We've had bad fits here in Chat Sports. That's why they're not here anymore. But you know what? LinkedIn is the perfect way to make sure you find the right candidates quick and easy. Go to linkedin.com/NFL Daily, which y'all can find down in the comments section and in the description of today's video. When you think about the entire world and finding people out there to get the right fits, 810 million people are on LinkedIn right now. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Now, for me personally, I know a lot of y'all maybe not know this. I found Chat Sports through LinkedIn. I applied. I remember all the way back in 2017. I didn't know if I'd get the job or not. I remember when I got the interview, I was super stoked, but I owe LinkedIn a lot because if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be the host of the Raiders Report. Now let's talk about the Raiders running back depth chart as it stands right now. Josh is going to be your main back. He's going to be your main dude, right? And no one really should be all too surprised by that. I don't really know if the impact or Drake getting cut impacts his fantasy stock. I have always said you're going to get probably around 15 touches per game for him. Zamir White, he's been playing in the preseason. He's also going to be your number 2 back. But for Kenyan, he was the guy who was going to be special team / pass catcher. And personally, I think that job now is going to be split between Brandon Bolden and Amir Abdullah. One of the things that I tweeted out all the way, I'm going to go 10 days ago. 10 days ago, if you don't believe me, I put it back out on Twitter, at MitchellRens365. I said this. When you look at a lot of the things that the Raiders are doing in the preseason, I believe that Kenyan Drake could either be traded or he could be cut. The first thing that kind of tipped me a little bit was, hey, that report that came out that the Raiders could potentially use Amir Abdullah in a James White role. If you're a dog, your ears should be like that because you hear James White role in a Josh McDaniels system, that tells me a lot. So Amir Abdullah, he also has the connection with Troy Polamalu. Remember, Troy Polamalu was his running back coach the past 3 seasons in Minnesota. Yes, Abdullah did also end up going to Carolina. But realistically, this was a move that you should have known was ultimately going to end up happening, especially if you subscribe to the show. Now, how about this? Because I do see that some people are surprised, which is all good. I have a live poll right now at the top of the live show, and it says, are you surprised the Raiders cut Drake? 52% of y'all say yes. 48% of y'all say no. So let me know down there in the comments right now. What is your one-word reaction to the news? My one-word reaction, predicted. But I'll also say pump the brakes a little bit because I think that there's going to be a team that ends up making a trade for Kenyan Drake before the 4 p.m. Eastern time deadline happens tomorrow. In terms of some of the numbers that Drake had last season, he had 63 carries, 254 yards. He averaged 4.0 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. But Drake wasn't paid the money that he received, which, remember, he initially received a 2-year, $14 million deal, thank you, Gruden, which then this new regime ended up restructuring to backload it a little bit. They stacked 4 void years, which technically, for those of you that don't know, they gave him $1.1 million in 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, which helps create salary cap space for this year, but you end up eating money in the long haul. The reason why Drake was given that money is because this is like the curse word on Raiders Report. He was going to be the Swiss Army knife. Remember when the Raiders drafted Lynn Bowden Jr.? Swiss Army knife. That didn't work out. So then they brought in Kenyan because they knew he could not only run between the tackles, they could also use him as a wide receiver, but they also liked his special teams ability. Unfortunately for him, there's other players that have stepped up in special teams. The Raiders like their other running backs more between the tackles and catching the football, and then the added injury history that Drake has had, especially of recent, with that broken ankle, means unfortunately for him there just wasn't simply going to be enough space on this Raiders 53-man. Now, this is why you should subscribe to the Raiders Report, because if you're looking for videos all year, we got you covered. I already went live earlier today for the Nick Mullins trade info. We talked about the Raiders signing the linebacker Tay Davis. If you want free Raiders videos, I got you covered. If you want watch parties, we're going to be live for the Raiders watch party up against the New England Patriots this week. If you want giveaways, we're going to be doing more giveaways as well. So please, it helps me out a lot. It puts food in Chuck's bowl. Hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Now we're going to keep on rolling here through these. We'll give you a quick little recap since people continue to join in. Tom Pelissero, the Raiders plan to release veteran running back Kenyan Drake per source. And then I think Josina saw my tweet, and then she tweeted this out because, of course, she's, always about these phones. My understanding is the Raiders will still keep an ear to the phone for potential 11-hour trade inquiries, which means the cut date or the cut deadline, 4 p.m. Eastern time, that's what that 11-hour window is. And we'll see ultimately what ends up happening with Drake. Again, I'm going to say between a 6th, maybe a 7th round pick. You're probably going to get a 7th because you do have to end up paying him $3.6 million, which I know we like Drake, but I don't really know if there's going to be a lot of other NFL teams out there interested in giving Drake that type of money. So I know that there's only one nation, And I appreciate all y'all that tune in every day. So if you made it to the very end of this Kenyan Drake video, I want you to spam RO4L because I want to see all the real ones down in the chat.